Hey, beautiful souls, and welcome to Around the Kitchen Table, a space for honest conversations, stories from the heart, and gentle reminders that we're all walking each other home. I'm Laura Island, mother, creative, soul led CEO of Sacred Sister CIC, and the woman behind Wise Sacred Woman. I'm a witch with ADHD. And this podcast is where we gather to share the real, raw, and radiant parts of life. Each week, we'll explore what it means to live in rhythm with ourselves, with nature, and with one another. We'll talk about womanhood, sisterhood, creativity, leadership, spirituality, and the messy magic of being a human. So pour yourself a cuppa, get comfy, and let's meet here around the kitchen table, where stories are medicine and every voice belongs. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to Around the Kitchen Table. My name's Laura. If you've never met me before, I'm the founder of Sacred Sister. Do not adjust your screens. I am actually really this colour right now due to being out at a horse show all day in the hot, 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 hot sun. It's currently Sunday the 19th of July and it's 9:30 at night. And I have just completed an inner dance with the women in our sanctuary. If you don't know anything about the sanctuary, you can check it out. The doors will be open for new people to join us in the autumn because I'm taking a bit of a break. It feels like quite a big thing to say. So I thought I would do this podcast because it may be the last one for a little while. I know, it's scary. But I've been recording podcasts now pretty much solidly every week. There's over, just done this look how, oh my God, the sunburn. It's got some fresh aloe on it from the garden. That will help. Anyway, so this one is going to be very raw and real. And probably short and sweet, but I don't know. I there's been a lot moving through me lately. And a lot of it has come from creating our gathering this year. I've had some real challenges with creating the gathering this year, and it's partly because I constantly feel the need to still try to fit in. Now, even as I'm saying that to you, I'm thinking, did I already record this podcast last week or did I just think about it? Have I recorded this podcast before? Probably, because I've always spent my whole life trying to fit in. Fit into what? Fit into whose box? Fit into whose patriarchal bullshit expression of normal? And I've never really fitted in. And then, of course, I can, put it down to all the sort of things I know about myself now, my ADHD, my traumas, my childhood stuff. Like I can put it down to all of that stuff. But more importantly, I guess is the point of like, when and why did I ever feel like I needed to fit in the first place? And as I've grown through life, fitting in became more and more of a thing. And it wasn't because I wanted to be like everybody else. It was just because I didn't want to stand out. I was tired, I think, of being misunderstood. And now I feel like I'm still misunderstood all the time. All the time. And when you've been showing up like I have in social media world, in in all of the places for 7 years now. 7 years coming up with Sacred Sister and with Woman Fest before that and Burning Woman and and actually as myself for many moons prior to that in the social media world, I've become a bit exhausted by it all. And people keep saying to me, you should try Substack, you should try this, you should try that, you should use this funnel, create this thing, do this thing. And I'm like, it's just more. More of more of more of more. And it's actually freaking exhausting. It really is exhausting. I did a post this week that spoke to this from the sofa, and I had beautiful responses, you know, many women that were resonating in the same way, many who were kind of speaking to menopause and ADHD and neurospiciness and all of that stuff and burnout. And I could give it any number of labels, but actually, what it really comes down to is that I just am a bit done. I'm done trying to keep showing up because everything tells you you have to create at least 2 posts, 3 posts, 5 posts, 10 posts. Like, when will it be enough? When will it make any difference? Because I don't think there is a right or wrong for that algorithm because it changes. And this person will tell you this thing, and this person will tell you something else. And it's exhausting. And I've been doing it for too long. And I spoke the other week about using AI to check on things because I know that, I'm dyslexic and I spell shit wrong and my grammar's a bit crap and don't know where my full stops and my there, and there are. So then I get those wrong and then people pick me up on it. I had someone pick me up on a post that I did for Cavendish Bazaar, which is our cafe, the other day. And I'd used the wrong your. I'd used the wrong your. So she felt like she could comment and just say, "Oh, by the way, it's this your, and that's great. I'll be in soon." And it's like, but why did you have to pick me up on it? And my response to her was, "That's okay. My dyslexia will still make your coffee taste amazing." It's like, what is that about? And so I think I'm just a bit exhausted by it all. And it's summer. And when you have kids at school, your kids have a break in the summer, and you often get to kind of holiday and take time out and be with your kids and arrange your summer holidays around the kids, especially if you're working. We don't have any of that. Excuse me. We don't have any of that because summer is our busiest time. And then we plan to take time off in the winter, but sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't. And I literally haven't had a day off. When I say off, I mean no social media, no showing up for the sanctuary and the women that are in there, no creating more content, no writing more stuff. Now, believe me, I know that when I extract myself from all of that, it will be really hard. And it will give my brain even more space to create even more. It never really is off because this isn't a business. It's not something I can just step outside of. I feel Sacred Sister in my absolute heart and soul. She is me, and she is you, and she is we. She represents all of those places where we feel lost, where we don't feel connected, where we don't trust each other. where wow, it's emotional because I feel it. I feel all of those places where, as a woman, we feel less than. And we continue to try to fit in, and we continue to try to show up, and we continue to try to be more. It was something that came up this week on social media, and it talked about what if babies were birthed through a portal? Would we all be like, whoa, it's magic? No, they're birthed through us as women. But I feel every single project I do goes through that birthing process. So it's like I've had a gazillion babies over the last 7 years. And this gathering has really felt all of the birthing pains. I started from a place like I do every year where I think, oh gosh, should I change the format? Should I become more festival so that people get what we do? Should I try to navigate it in a different way? Do I let people apply to be facilitators and volunteers and all of those things, which we don't do because everybody that comes has something to offer. Every single woman is a facilitator in her own right. Every single one of you has this most deepest inner wisdom. So I did it again. I tried to change it. And I've had to come back to this is who we are. And this is what we do. And I know that when we show up in the field together, absolute magic happens just because we show up. I had somebody comment on a post the other day, and I said, we talk about everyone being welcome. If you're a woman, a womb holder, or you've had a womb, you're welcome into this particular gathering that we do. Because we do a lot of diving into what it is to be a woman in these spaces. And Lamas is when we are in the field this year. So there'll be feasting for harvest and the start of that harvest and the what are we harvesting within ourselves? This is part of the theme of coming home. And they said, but back in the day, you wouldn't have charged a ticket for such a thing. You would have just gathered. So you're not for everyone. And again, gosh, my emotions are high right now. That Cancer new moon still moving through me. I am when you do this because you have such a deeply ingrained belief of this work in the world, and someone questions your charging for an event that has to have a land fee. Back in the day, land would have been free. We could have gone anywhere. It's not anymore. It's owned by somebody and they charge a fee for being there. The toilets, the showers, the power, the marquees, the food, the chef, the trying to think of the flowers, the the people, the tables, the chairs, the sound system. It all needs to be paid for. That's the world that we live in. And if I could do it any differently, I would. But we make every possible availability for you to be there if you feel it. So you can come and volunteer with us. You can, I never leave any woman behind, ever. It's always a way to make it work. But I can't pay to put it on. We already owe my husband about £30,000 over the last 7 years of helping out Sacred Sister. And at some point, I have to figure out a way to make that back. And such is his belief in this process of me figuring it out. And so I'm jumping on because I want to remind you that you're not broken. I'm not broken. That you don't need fixing. And therefore, you don't need to search for someone to fix you. You are healing in every moment. You are part of nature, and nature is ever changing. And that change is transformation. That transformation is healing. But it starts with you coming to a level of acceptance, acceptance of who you are, what is going on, and how you are showing up. And when you can find that level of acceptance, even in the shittiest things that happen, and believe me, I've had many, when I can find acceptance and forgiveness, because that forgiveness is benefiting me, not anybody else, then I can come to a place of spontaneous healing. That healing happens because I can move it through my body, and then I can empower and inspire and embody a new way to be. But I have to start by knowing what was going on in the first place. So, where's my ramble going tonight? My ramble is going to two things. One, if you're still feeling called to the gathering and you're seeing this before the 30th of July, then you can book to come and hang out with us. Come and hang out with us for 5 days. Come and hang out with us for 3 days. Come and hang out with us for Sunday. Just get your ticket booked and come. And secondly, from the gathering on, I think to autumn equinox, there was a 6-week thing, then it felt like a 3-month thing. But at the moment, I feel like the journey will be from Lammas to autumn equinox. I will be pulling back and giving myself a little bit of space and a little bit of time and a little bit of energy. And if you're watching this and you're inside the sanctuary, you have a ton of stuff to work through if you choose to. And maybe you'll take some time too. And yeah, there's a part of me that has this fear of like, everyone go away. There won't be anyone left on our socials. There won't be anything left to do. People won't know where we are. They won't know how to find us. All of that stuff. Or maybe you might miss me. And then when I come back, you might want to get more engaged. But what I am going to invite you into, and I'm not sure how this is going to look right now. I think it's probably just going to be something really simple, like creating I already have created, but sharing with you the playbook. I don't like calling them workbooks. The playbook, the journal, the 44 days of devotion. The 44 days of devotion. What would it be to give yourself a moment of devotion every day, where actually you stop outsourcing your healing and you start to lean into, what do I really need? What is my wisdom telling me? What are these small moments sharing with me? I'd love to share something that I wrote earlier whilst we were on the inner dance. It came to me and I connected the dots. You just find the words. You may want to close your eyes as I share this with you. It's getting dark here. So we remember healing is not something we earn. It is not something someone gives us. It is not waiting somewhere beyond the next workshop, the next book, the next breakthrough. Healing is already right here. It lives beneath the noise, beneath the stories, beneath the armor. We built so lovingly, so wisely, just to help us survive. Every cell remembers. Your breath knows the way home. Your heart has never forgotten its rhythm. Your bones carry the wisdom of every woman who came before you. You are not broken. You're not broken. Nothing inside you needs fixing. Nothing inside you is too much. Nothing inside you has left behind by love. There are places that ache, places that grieve, places that have waited a very long time to be witnessed. And when they are finally met, not with judgment, not with force, not with a desperate need to make them different, they soften. Because what every part of us has been longing for is not to be fixed. It is to be heard, to be held, to be listened to. Your body has been speaking to you since the day you arrived here, not in words, but in sensation, in goosebumps, in tears, in exhaustion, in joy, in the quiet whispers that says, this way. Healing begins the moment we stop arguing with ourselves and begin listening. So today, lead with less certainty and more curiosity. Leave with fewer answers and a deeper trust. Trust that your body knows. Trust that your heart knows. Trust that life itself is moving through you, always towards wholeness, always towards love. And as you walk back into the world, may you remember this. You do not have to become someone else. You do not need to strive to be worthy. You do not need permission to come home. Simply listen, because every part of you already knows the way. And perhaps that is what healing has always been. Not becoming whole, but remembering that you always were. So thank you for connecting in with me and joining me in this moment. Pop the word devotion in the comment wherever you're seeing this. And if you don't hear from me, make sure to be signed up to our mailing list. You can do that by going onto the website, sacred-sister.co.uk. And at the bottom, if you scroll to the bottom of the page, there's a little freebie for you. It's called 10 ways that the sister wound shows up that you didn't even know about. Because one of the reasons that we stay separate from each other is we don't even recognize the way these wounds show up. And that fundamentally is where Sacred Sister starts, by recognizing what keeps us separate from in the first place. So I think it's time for bed. I have some fabulous guests lined up coming up soon. And if you're watching this, go back through our podcast episodes, because there's some magic in there. There really is. Some beautiful guests, some beautiful connections, some beautiful moments. So there's plenty to work through whilst I take a break. Crazy. I wish it was really a break. In fact, I don't. I love my life and I love my work and I love the cafe. I think this is where this is all stemmed from, is that as much as I love online and I love meeting you all and having connections with you, I don't really meet you. Most of you will watch this and never comment, never follow, never subscribe. You'll just watch and it will pass you by. But if you do, leave me a little comment. Even if it's get a bed, woman, stop rabbiting. But the cafe really is what's making my heart sing, and I'm definitely coming back round in the autumn to get you connecting with each other in the outside world, because because that's where the magic truly happens. Anywho, I'll catch you soon. Lots of love. Take care. All right.